Unlock the machine for the purpose of recording attendance. Have all members recorded their attendance? Clerk will lock the machine. There are 35 members present, 36 members with Senator Anderson. There is a quorum. I call on Senator Golden.
Okay. May I? Thank you. Mr. President, may I be recorded in the affirmative on the previous calendar, except for with Senate Bill 336 in the negative?
Senator, please repeat that bill number, please.
Sure, 336.
336?
Yep.
Senator Golden requests that she be recorded in the affirmative on all items that were passed at the last legislative session, except for item S336, which she is voting in the negative on. That does not change the outcome. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Madam Whip. Senator Goodwin moves to adjourn last Tuesday's session, seconded by Senator McCaffrey and Senator Algier. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Last Tuesday's session is adjourned. The clerk will please unlock the machine for the purpose of recording attendance for today's legislative session. If all members have recorded their attendance, the clerk will lock the machine. There are 36 members present. There is a quorum. I would ask all members and the guests to please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance to be led today by Ethan Huckle. Is going to lead us in the invocation. Mr. Huckle.
Good afternoon. For welcoming me here today. Thank you. And thank you for embracing the transgender community of Rhode Island with a celebratory declaration. Roger Williams founded this state with democracy and freedom as grounding principles. And we have many times reaffirmed through the work of this body Rhode Island as a state where all are welcome as they are. While there is more to do towards that end, we go into that work with these principles as our guide. I am honored as the board president of TGI Network of Rhode Island to present today's invocation. Today's resolution seeks to affirm a community which has long faced violence and discrimination and which is currently facing political attack throughout the nation and around the world. As you prepare to honor and uplift the transgender community, I call to our minds the memory of those pioneers who have led the way toward our collective freedom, those who stood up for their own rights and worked to smooth the path for those who would follow. I call to mind those in Rhode Island who have come before the legislature to bear their personal stories in the hope that they can impart upon those who listened the humanity of a community. I call to mind the persistence and dedication of local leaders, as well as those whose names and stories remain unspoken. Today, we celebrate transgender empowerment, but there is work that remains to ensure that all transgender Rhode Islanders are empowered to live freely and speak their identities and experiences openly. there is work to ensure that transgender Rhode Islanders have access to the housing and healthcare and safety at home and in public, hallmarks of a quality life. And as we as a community and you as lawmakers engage in this important work, may you be guided by the principles of freedom and democracy that are foundational to our state, by the legacy of those who have striven for freedom throughout its history, and by hope that for what we can become together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Huckle. Leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance will be Senator Tiara Mack, representing the city of Providence. Senator Mack.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Senator Mack.
Mr. President, I move that the further reading of the journal be dispensed with and the journal be accepted as printed.
Senator Mack moves that the further reading of the journal be dispensed with, and that is last Tuesday's journal be dispensed with, and that the journal be accepted as printed without objection, so ordered. Next order of business is the introduction of guests. There are no guests present. Senator Mack.
Yes, I have with me today Ethan Huckle from the TGI Network and Justice Gaines, Zizim Zir, who is a local poet and activist. And before we begin, here's a little bit more about Justice Amir Gaines, a community organizer and poet here in Providence. Z is currently the Queer Justice Coordinator at PRISM, Providence Youth Student Movement. Zir's poetry explores the experience of being a Black trans woman in an apocalyptic America. Zir's work can be found on Poetry Magazine, Split This Rock, The Nation, and various other publications. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Mack. Justice Gaines.
Hello, thank you all for having me today. Again, my name is Justice Gaines. I'll be reading two poems in honor of trans empowerment and the resolution that you all passed. I will be reading the first poem and then going directly into the second. And before I start, I would just like to let folks in this room know who hold a lot of power in Rhode Island that trans empowerment can not only come in words, it also has to come in action. One vision for a world in which my kinfolk laugh and it's the loudest sound. For all my kinfolk to be good, they'll each need a bed and a kitchen, a space to hold company, food to fill up their fridge, sustainable and delicious, and they'll never have to buy a meal using their rent money. Oh, money won't be an issue because no one will need it. No one will pretend God laid a green bill on the ground so we could stare in awe while all this verdant beauty goes wasted. No, survival will not be a luxury. See, when I close my eyes, I picture a bright field filled with dozens of faces, so much color popping from their smiles. So this be a park, and the trees be proud picnic blanket, gentle breeze, a full course homemade meal that even the ants envy. The children chasing each other in the distance while grown folks smoke a J against the skyline. We got the classics on repeat, but we can barely hear it beneath the harmonies of finches and the bellows of our own jokes. We never look over our shoulder for watchers. Honey, don't be shy. You can join us in this concert of joy, laughing over and over. And I know we will protect this. No matter how many times we have to help someone fall in love with themselves over and over, or fall in love with their freedom over and over, the only chains we rock in be the ones on our neck now. We will be nourished with this happiness we see in our loved ones. Maybe I'm too young to have these dreams. Not yet mature enough to cling to struggle like a life vest. You should hear the names they call me for wanting laughter to be the loudest sound. Still, I walk in the sunlight, I dream in the daytime. If gender is a performance, then of course I have a role to play. See, I've been acting all my life. Back when I was a child, I always got called for the boys' team. Always felt a little strange, but I mean, everyone called me mama's boy anyway. And I wasn't ashamed. I loved my mother. I wanted to be her. I knew what I wanted to be. Her, and my Aunt Val, and Miss Tootsie, and my grandma. I knew it. I felt it. Then I grew up, and I was still performing. Did orators, spoke my speeches, did theater, faked my fancies, read poems, wrote them, lived them, even ran for office once, and what a production that was. Of course I know how to perform. You think a black bitch like me makes it without learning how to fit in your small little mouths? 2 decades here, I tried to play the boys' roles. But even that charade grows old and tight and heavy, barely breathing inside such thin skin, and I swear I got free just in time to play the role of a lifetime. A character that would teach me more than any book ever could, grew my hair out, donned my gowns, adorned my lips, and no, none of that makes me a woman any more than the pussy between my legs. No, I learned what makes me a woman is me. Do you know something? I don't think I've been directing this show. I don't see my sisters on the production team. I don't see my brothers in the crew. None of my siblings or cousins, none of my neighbors are here. None of them get to sing on stage, starting to think these tickets might be scams. All these politicians scalping their pride out for the biggest dollar, then handing playbills full of false promises. And it's interesting, even the workers in the cheap seats are white. Like my fam don't even get to be equal when they pour. But of course I'm still performing, putting on a show for you, and you will clap when I am done. Because that's what we make of minstrels and costumes. That's what you think this all is anyway, a staging to soothe your ego. Only a stage can you perform for people who wouldn't let trans girls play sports but still have the audacity to be at a hearing on a bill. Only on a stage can you watch a front row laugh while they sit on chairs made of human bones. Only on a stage can you write hypocrisy in lights, condemn it for the hell it deserves, and they might not even cut off your mic. They might not even see the irony in the handshake they give you after. This is a stage, and I'm the actress, but all I see are liars. If gender is a performance, then the script is quite tired, full of fallacy and guilt-ridden comfort. Some play to appease the masses, and I'm tired of it. My black ass ain't here so you can be a little more tolerable of trans folks. My character is big enough to fill up this whole stage. My sisters are waiting in the wings to strike. See, I've been acting all my life, and y'all motherfuckers got far too comfortable enjoying the show.
Senator Mack.
May I have the resolution read?
Senator Mack requests that the resolution be read. The clerk will please do so.
Senate resolution commemorating International Transgender Day of Visibility on March 31st, 2021 in the state of Rhode Island. Whereas March 31st, 2021 marks the 12th annual International Transgender Day of Visibility, celebrating the resilience and success of transgender and gender nonconforming people and raising awareness about transgender rights. And whereas transgender individuals and organizations have made myriad contributions to our state through volunteerism, advocacy, political engagement, military service, and cultural and artistic expression. And whereas transgender and non-binary people face significant cultural, legal, and economic challenges and are often forced to live with the fear of discrimination or violence. And whereas calling attention to issues of systemic biases and individual transphobia and providing protection under federal or state law is necessary in order to ensure basic protections that guarantee human dignity. And whereas education and training are the most effective tools employers can use to facilitate workplace gender transitions and to raise awareness of gender nonconforming designations. Because by promoting an inclusive workplace where all employees feel respected and safe, and one in which they can bring their whole selves, is good business. And whereas society has a responsibility to stand with a community so often marginalized, to elevate people so often pushed down, to hear and speak to the pain and loss faced by transgender individuals, and to work to upend the system that tacitly permits it. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this Senate of the State of Rhode Island hereby commemorates International Transgender Day of Visibility on March 31st, 2021, and celebrates the myriad contributions transgender persons inculcate and impart to society and the diversity of our state, and urges all Rhode Islanders to prioritize inclusivity and equality for all. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and she is hereby authorized and directed to transmit duly certified copies of this resolution to the TGI network of Rhode Island.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Senator Mack.
Thank you I believe this is one of our first Transgender Day of Empowerment that we're celebrating in the Senate. I'm really happy that we have taken this moment to uplift a community that is an integral part of Rhode Island, especially as we see nationwide there are policies and legislation that seek to diminish the light that is so bright in the transgender community. And I hope that we here in Rhode Island can continue to affirm our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones who are members of this community. Thank you.
Senator Mack moves passage of the resolution. Seconded by Senator Connell, Senator Felix, Senator Acosta, Senator Pearson, Senator Picard, Senator Lawson, Senator DeMario, Senator Bell, Senator Mendez, Senator McCaffrey, Senator Anderson, Senator Murray, Senator Valverde, Senator Golden, Senator Coyne, Senator DePalma, Senator Lombardi, Senator Coleman, Senator Casada, Senator Sosnowski, Senator Miller, Senator Burke, Senator Corcoran, Senator Mendes, Senator Raptakis, Senator Goodwin. Discussion on the resolution. Also seconded by Senator Gallo and Senator Paolino. Discussion on the resolution. Hearing none, all those in favor of the resolution, please indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The resolution passes. Second item is by Senator Bridget Valverde, a Senate resolution supporting federal legislation granting statehood to the people of Washington, D.C. Senator Valverde.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can that be read?
Senator Valverde requested the resolution be read. The clerk will please do so.
Senate resolution supporting federal legislation granting statehood to the people of Washington, D.C. Whereas the people living on the land that would eventually be designated as the District of Columbia were provided the right to vote for representation in Congress when the United States Constitution was ratified in 1788. And whereas the passage of the Organic Act of 1801 placed the District of Columbia under the exclusive authority of the United States Congress and abolished residents' right to vote for members of Congress and the President and Vice President of the United States. And whereas residents of the District of Columbia were granted the right to vote for the President and Vice President through the passage of the 23rd Amendment to the United States Constitution in 1961. And whereas as of 2020, the U.S. Census Bureau estimates that the District of Columbia's population at approximately 712,000 residents is comparable to the populations of Wyoming with 582,000, Vermont with 623,000, Alaska with 731,000, and North Dakota with 765,000. And whereas residents of the District of Columbia share all the responsibilities of United States citizenship, including paying more federal taxes than residents of 22 states, service on federal juries, and defending the United States as members of the United States Armed Forces in every war since the War for Independence. Yet they are denied full representation in Congress. And whereas the residents of the District of Columbia themselves have endorsed statehood for the District of Columbia and passed district-wide referendum on November 8, 2016, which favored statehood by 86%. And whereas no other democratic nation denies the right of self-government, including participation in its national legislature, to the residents of its capital. And whereas residents of the District of Columbia lack full democracy, equality, and citizenship enjoyed by the residents of the 50 states. And whereas the United States Congress has repeatedly interfered with the District of Columbia's limited self-government by enacting laws that affect the District of Columbia's expenditure of its locally raised tax revenue, including barring the usage of locally raised revenue, thus violating the fundamental principle that states and local governments are best suited to enact legislation which represents the will of its citizens. And whereas although the District of Columbia has passed consecutive balanced budgets since fiscal year 1997, it still faces the possibility of being shut down yearly because of congressional deliberations over the federal budget. And whereas the District of Columbia delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton and Delaware United States Senator Tom Carper introduced the 117th Congress, House Resolution 51, which had historically passed the House on June 26th of 2020 during the 116th Congress, and Senate Bill 51, the Washington, D.C. Admission Act, that provides the state of Washington, D.C., and would have all rights of citizenship as tax-paying members, including 2 senators and at least 1 House member. And whereas the United Nations Human Rights Committee has called on the United States Congress to address the Committee of Columbia's lack of political equality, and the Organization of American States has declared the disenfranchisement of the District of Columbia residents as a violation of its charter agreement to which the United States is a signatory. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Senate of the State of Rhode Island hereby supports admitting Washington, D.C. into the Union as a state of the United States of America. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and she is hereby authorized and directed to transmit duly certified copies of this resolution to the Majority Leader of the United States Senate, the Minority Leader of the United States Senate, the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, the Minority Leader of the United States House of Representatives, Senator Jack Reed, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, Representative James Langevin, Representative David Cicilline, and the President of Students for D.C. Statehood.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Senator Valverde.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the Senate. The most fundamental right any of us has is the right to vote for our own elected leaders who will be our voice in government. That's the foundation of what we do here in this chamber to represent the people of Rhode Island, and that's the bedrock on which this nation was founded. And yet, the more than 700,000 people of Washington, D.C. are denied the promise of American democracy, are denied the right of full voting representation in Congress. The residents of D.C. have been demanding statehood since it became the seat of our federal government 220 years ago. That is 220 years of taxation without representation, 220 years of disenfranchisement of a city of vibrant people, the very people whose work and expertise our federal government relies on to carry out the work of the people. Nearly 20% of D.C. residents are federal employees, and they do not have a full voice in that government. Just as our colleague Senator Mendes so eloquently reminded us last week with regards to the people of Puerto Rico, the residents of D.C. are part of our shared history, but are not part of our shared voice. 20 years ago, I moved to Washington to attend college, and suddenly I was surrounded by friends, neighbors, and others who had been stripped of this essential right. We knew it was unjust, and just as today, people clamored for full representation and full participation in our democracy. The necessity of statehood was so obvious, so urgent, it seemed like change must be right around the corner. That was 20 years ago, and the need is only more obvious and more urgent today. As a college student, I was honored to work for Senator Paul Strauss, one of the non-voting shadow senators from the District of Columbia. Like the rest of the shadow delegation, he is elected by his neighbors, but not formally seated by Congress, and he works toward the goal of statehood. In that work, I felt the frustration of a city that is so deeply tied to the workings of our federal government, but that didn't have a full say in the policies it enacted. We're a small state here in Rhode Island, and we all know how important it is to have our voices heard in the halls of Congress. We are lucky to have such a great congressional delegation looking out for our interests. Every American deserves that. They deserve to ask their U.S. senators and their congressperson to support this bill, oppose that measure, applaud them when we feel they've done a good job, and hold them accountable when we feel they haven't. Every American deserves that. D.C.'s electorate is majority people of color, the very same voters who are being targeted for disenfranchisement in states across our country. There are those who would like to see the continued erosion of voting rights, the continued denial of representation for Black and brown folks. In a time when our democratic institutions are being undermined and access to the ballot is being threatened, let us finally take this step to extend the fullest of American rights to the residents of our nation's capital. Let us give them the full voting representation they deserve in Congress by making the District of Columbia the 51st state. I urge all of my colleagues to support this resolution, and I happily move passage.
Senator Valverde moves passage of the resolution, seconded by Senator Felag, Senator DeMario, Senator Acosta, Senator Lombardi, Senator Coleman, Senator Pearson, Senator Casada, Senator Lawson, Senator Mack, Senator Anderson, Senator Mendes, Senator Miller, Senator Chacon, Senator McCaffrey, Senator Goodwin, Senator Lombardo, Senator Burke, Senator Archibald, Senator Connell, Senator Corkin, Senator Bell, Senator Murray, Senator Golden, Senator Coyne, Senator 70, Senator DePalmer, Senator Bell, Senator Chacon, Senator Sosnowski. Discussion on the resolution. Hearing none, all those in favor of the resolution, please indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The resolution passes. Next item is by Senator Dela Cruz, Senate Resolution designating April of 2021 as Parkinson's Awareness Month in the state of Rhode Island. Senator Dela Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move passage, please.
Senator Dela Cruz moves passage of the resolution, seconded by Senator Lombardo, Senator Chacon, Senator Lombardi, Senator Coleman, Senator DeMario, Senator Acosta, Senator Casada, Senator Anderson, Senator Felag, Senator Gallo, Senator Sosnowski, Senator Picard, Senator Lawson, Senator Algier, Senator Miller, Senator Burke, Senator Archibald, Senator Paolino, Senator Rogers, Senator Bell, Senator Raptakis, Senator Murray, Senator Golden, Senator Valverde, Senator Coyne, Senator 70, Senator Palmer, Senator Corkin, Senator Picard, Senator Raptakis, Senator Cano, Senator Mendes, Senator Gallo, Senator Goodwin. Discussion on the resolution? Hearing none. All those in favor of the resolution, please indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The resolution passes. Next item is House Bill number 6160. An act relating to solemnization of marriages allows the Honorable Carlos E. Toban to join Mariela Macellari and Javier Rios in marriage on or about April 3rd, 2021, within the town of Bristol, Rhode Island. Leader McCaffrey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask for immediate consideration and then move passage.
Leader McCaffrey moves the bill, asks for immediate consideration, and moves passage. Seconded by Senator Gallo, Senator Felag, Senator Chacon, Senator Pearson, Senator Archibald, Senator Coyne, Senator DeMarios, Senator Gallo, Senator Sosnowski, Senator Mendes, Senator Burke, Senator Bell, Senator Casada, Senator Picard, Senator DePalmer. Is there discussion on the resolution? Senator Mack also. Discussion on the resolution. Hearing done, the clerk will please unlock the machine. If all members have recorded their vote, the clerk will lock the machine. There are 37 votes in the affirmative, none in the negative, and the resolution passes. That brings us to today's consent calendar. Leader McCaffrey moves the consent calendar, second by Senator Algier. The clerk will please unlock the machine. If all members have recorded their vote, the clerk will lock the machine. There are 37 votes in the affirmative, none in the negative, and the consent calendar is adopted. That brings us to today's calendar. Item number 1 on today's calendar is Senate Bill 384 Sub A by Senator Lawson, an act relating to the Food and Drugs Uniform Controlled Substance Act. Senator Lawson.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill would allow medical providers to prescribe controlled substances without regard to the 2016 CDC guidelines for prescribing opioids for chronic pain. It would ensure that patients who require intensive treatments for chronic intractable pain management do not experience undue burden accessing the pain medication that they need. In June of 2020, the American Medical Association wrote a letter to the CDC urging them to make revisions to the 2016 guidelines. Arbitrary limits on opioid prescribing has increased stigma for patients with pain and have resulted in legitimate pain care being denied to patients. 2 weeks ago, actually, the Committee on Health and Human Services heard powerful testimony from patients who suffer from chronic pain and their caregivers. I'd like to thank Claudia Morandi, my constituent, for sharing her story and advocating on this issue. This bill will improve the lives of many Rhode Islanders and enable those who experience chronic pain to live with dignity. And I move passage.
Senator Lawson moves passage of the act. Is there a second? Second by Leader McCaffrey, Senator Gallo, Senator Goodwin, Senator Anderson, Senator Miller, Senator Felag, Senator Sosnowski, Senator Chacon, Senator DeMario, Senator Costa, Senator Lombardi, Senator Mack, Senator Burke, Senator Archibald, Senator Connell, Senator Corcoran, Senator Bell, Senator Raptakis, Senator Murray, Senator Valverde, Senator Coyne, Senator Seveny, Senator DePalma. Discussion on the act. Hearing none, the clerk will please unlock the machine. If all members have recorded their vote, the clerk will lock the machine. There are 37 votes in the affirmative, none in the negative, and the act passes. Item number 2 on today's calendar is by Senator DePalma, Senate Bill 56, an act relating to state affairs and government, Preservation of Families with Disabled Parent Act. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. President, members of the Senate, I want to thank the Judiciary Committee for once again passing this bill for the 4th year in a row. It's about time we allow the parents with disabilities to be able to be guardians, be adoptive parents, be parents, and be able to foster parents as well. And with that, I move passage.
Senator DePalma moves passage of the act, seconded by Senator McCaffrey, Senator Gallo, Senator Goodwin, Senator Felag, Senator Sosnowski, Senator Chacon, Senator Burke, Senator Archibald, Senator DeMario, Senator Lombardi, Senator Lombardo, Senator Quesada, Senator Lawson, Senator Mack, Senator Coleman, Senator Miller, Senator Mendes, Senator Paolino, Senator Dela Cruz, Senator Connell, Senator Corcoran, Senator Raptakis, Senator Murray, Senator Valverde, Senator Coyne, Senator Seveny, and Senator DePalma. Is there discussion on the act before us? Hearing none, the clerk will please unlock the machine. If all members have recorded their vote, the clerk will lock the machine. There are 37 votes in the affirmative, none in the negative, and the act passes. Item number 3 is by Senator Raptakis, Senate Bill 128, an act relating to criminal offenses, children, confinement, and motor vehicles prohibited. Senator Raptakis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, we had passed this bill previously twice in 2018 and 2019, and what it does, it repeals the verbal warning section of law enforcement first responders and also the recording of a maintaining of the warning. I want to commend my constituent, Terry Sullivan, who's testified for many years on this bill to make it fair for children, to protect children left unattended in vehicles. Mr. President, I move passage.
Senator Raptakis moves passage of the act, seconded by Senator McCaffrey, Senator Chacon, Senator Felag, Senator Sosnowski, Senator Burke, Senator Lombardi, Senator Quesada, Senator Lawson, Senator Dela Cruz, Senator Archibald, Senator Connell, Senator Coyne, Senator Seveny, Senator DePalma, Senator Cano, Senator Rogers. Is there discussion on the act before us? Hearing none, the clerk will please unlock the machine. Have all members registered their vote? The clerk will lock the machine. There were 32 votes in the affirmative, 5 in the negative, and the act passes. Item number 4 on today's calendar is by Senator Coyne. Senate Bill 133 Sub A, enacted in the courts and civil procedure, small claims and consumer claims, procedure in particular actions. Senator Coyne.
Thank you, Mr. President. This act would increase the maximum amount to be recovered in civil court action as a small claims from $2,500 to $5,000. And it is consistent with our New England states who have between $5,000 and $7,000. A check with the district court said they could handle the raise up to $5,000, and I move passage.
Senator Coyne moves passage of the act, seconded by Leader McCaffrey, Senator Goodwin, Senator Gallo, Senator Miller, Senator Felix, Senator Chacon, Senator Sosnowski, Senator DeMario, Senator Costa, Senator Casada, Senator Lombardi, Senator Coleman, Senator Lawson, Senator Burke, Senator Archibald, Senator Cano, Senator Murray, Senator Seveny, Senator DePalmer, Senator Gallo, Senator Valverde. Is there discussion on the act before us? The clerk will please unlock the machine. Have all members recorded their vote? The clerk will please lock the machine. There are 37 votes in the affirmative, none in the negative, and the act passes. Item number 5 on today's calendar is Senate Bill 561 by Senator Coleman, enacted on property, Rhode Island Fair Housing Practices Act. Senator Coleman.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Chamber has passed this legislation before. It is designed to prohibit discrimination against tenants because of the source of their income. The bill is primarily aimed at preventing landlords from refusing to rent to Rhode Islanders who receive Section 8 Housing Choice vouchers, although it also prevents discrimination based on any legal source of income, including Social Security benefits, veterans benefits, disability, or child support. I think I don't need to remind anyone how bad the housing crisis has gotten because of COVID. This is an additional unfair barrier that people in the state have lived with for a very long time. So I thank my co-sponsors in the Judiciary Committee for helping move it through, and I move passage.
Senator Coleman moves passage of the act, seconded by Senator McCaffrey, Senator Anderson, Senator Miller, Senator Sosnowski, Senator Gallo, Senator Chacon, Senator Felix, Senator DeMario, Senator Lombardi, Senator Acosta, Senator Casada, Senator Lawson, Senator Picard, Senator Mack, Senator Burke, Senator Archibald, Senator Connell, Senator Corkin, Senator Murray, Senator Golden, Senator Valverde, Senator Coyne, Senator Seveny, Senator Connell, Senator DePalmer. Is there discussion on the act before us? Hearing none, the clerk will please unlock the machine. If all members have recorded their vote, the clerk will lock the machine. There are 36 votes in the affirmative, 1 in the negative, and the act passes. Last item on today's calendar is Senate Bill 428 by Senator Cano, enacted in the State Affairs and Government, Department of Administration. Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the Senate, we had passed this bill in the past here in the Senate. This bill would require the Department of Administration, Office of Diversity, Equity, and Opportunity to create and execute a strategic plan for increased cultural competency for all state employees. Also, it should require all state employees to annually receive said program and shall make said training available to municipal employees upon request. For the purpose of this session, cultural competency means an understanding of how institutions and individuals can respond respectfully and effectively to people from all cultures, economic status, language, backgrounds, race, ethnic backgrounds, disability, religions, genders, gender identification, sexual orientation, veteran status, and other characteristics in a manner that recognizes affirms and values the word, and preserves the dignity of individuals, families, and community. Our state is very rich in diversity, and hopefully this bill will build a far more inclusive, diverse, and compassionate state workforce. We should lead by example in serving the people of Rhode Island. Our state and its employees will provide better services for our residents if they have a concrete understanding of the many different and diverse lives that inhabit here in Rhode Island. And with that, I move passage.
Chairwoman Connell moves passage of the act. Seconded by Leader McCaffrey, Whip Goodwin, Senator Miller, Senator Felix, Senator Sosnowski, Senator Chacon, Senator Lombardi, Senator Burke, Senator Corcoran, Senator Bell, Senator Valverde, Senator Coyne, Senator 70, Senator Palmer, Senator Coleman, Senator Lawson, Senator Mack, Senator DeMarios, Senator Acosta, Senator Quesada, Senator Golden, Senator Murray, Senator Aptakis, Senator Archambault, Senator Felag. Discussion on the act. Hearing none, the clerk will please unlock the machine. If all members have cast their vote, the clerk will lock the machine. There are 33 votes in the affirmative, 3 in the negative, and the act passes. That concludes today's calendar. We now revert to announcements and introductions. Chairman Felag.
Mr. President, announcement, please.
Please proceed, Mr. Chairman.
For planning purposes, the Finance Committee will be meeting virtually with the Judiciary Committee at 3 p.m. on Thursday. Your prompt attendance is greatly appreciated. This meeting will commence at 3 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator DeMario.
Thank you, Mr. President. For planning purposes, the Environment and Agriculture Committee will be meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. via WebEx.
Thank you, Senator DeMario. Senator Burke.
Announcement. Thank you, Mr.
Please
President.
proceed, Senator.
Labor Committee be meeting at 5 o'clock tomorrow, WebEx.
Thank you, Senator Burke. Senator Valverde.
Thank you, Mr. President. Health and Human Services will be meeting on Thursday at 5 p.m. via WebEx.
Thank you very much, Senator Valverde. Senator Murray.
Thank you, Mr. President. Special Legislation and Veterans Affairs will be meeting tomorrow evening at 5 p.m.
Thank you, Senator Murray. Senator Cano.
Thank you, Mr. President. Education will be meeting tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Further announcements? If there are no further announcements, is there any objection to transmitting adopted resolutions to the Honorable Secretary of State? All matters passed by the Senate to the Honorable House of Representatives, and all matters passed in concurrence to His Excellency, the Governor. Hearing none, so ordered. The desk is now clear of business. I call on Senator Goodwin for the purpose of recess.
Thank you, Mr. President. If there's no further business to come before the Senate this afternoon, I move the Senate stand in recess.
Senator Goodwin moves that the Senate stand in recess. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The Senate stands in recess.